top tip today was focus. And focus is for all the real estate professionals, whether you're a mortgage broker or you're a realtor. Focus is the number one thing that's going to bring you success in this market. When everything was going well, you had people who weren't so great at their job kind of jump into the market, and because the tide was rising, they felt like they could take advantage of it. But as Warren Buffett says, it's when the recession hits and the tide goes in or tide goes out. Well, tide goes back. You see who's swimming without their swimming trunks, and this is that situation. And if if you have a solid business down, you're going to be doing exactly the same stuff, and you'll know that your focus is not the next few months, but how you're going to be around the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And you've built your business accordingly. And so the focus, when we say focus on the things that matter, focus in on your business. You don't have all the money in the world. You don't have all the resources in the world. Everything is finite. So understand what are the things that you need to focus in on to make sure you survive this downturn. It's a downturn, and that downturn is going to end just like the upside ended, the downside is going to end. But who's going to make it on the other side is people who are focused, and they're not looking at all these sensational articles that the sky is falling. Oh my God, everything's coming down to an end. They see it for what it is. Yeah, things are coming down. This is how you're going to survive, and this is what we need to focus on. This is what my business needs for the next 5, 10 years to survive. It's not something that a downturn is going to affect as much. Doesn't mean that you're conducting business exactly the way you did it when you were when the market was at its top, but it's kind of like going to the gym. Just because you're kind of healthy doesn't mean that now you could stop going to the gym, and just because you're out of shape doesn't mean you're going to go to the gym a day and it's gonna finish. You got to develop healthy habits and and you need focus for that. You're not listening to, oh my God, all these gurus that are saying you could lose 10 pounds in 10 minutes. You understand that it requires discipline, and that discipline slowly turns into devotion. And as you do that, as you move forward, devoted to your craft, you're definitely going to not just survive, but you're going to be thriving.
Well said. And just to add to that, I think the takeaway is when you're focused and you have that discipline, the result is consistency. So just you're making sure that you have that plan. You're consistently kind of pushing through, and results don't come in the next day. And depending on the size of your business, the size of your book, the size of your team, what you're doing consistently is obviously going to change. But the main principle is being consistent. And despite there was a decrease in homes that were sold in August or July, the fact remains there were 5,000 homes sold in the GTA, 5,000 deals. How many did you do that month, right? So that means there's volume there, is the point, right? So with consistency, there's volume there that you can add to your book of business.
Yeah, and then to actually touch upon what you just said, focus does mean different things to different people. So if you're doing like 0 to 2 transactions a month, you're focusing on something very different than somebody who's doing 5 or more. It's going back to that gym analogy, right? If you're eating healthy, that means you're going to the gym, you're looking at form, right? When you're starting off at the gym, you're looking at form before you increase the weights. Once you've got that form down, then you're increasing the weights. And you're also looking at what you're eating, and you're not going to go from like eating horribly one day to having the best diet the next day. It's a step-by-step process. What are you eliminating first, and what are you eliminating afterwards, right? And so if you look at those two things, they are a combination of for example, if and the assumption here is you're going from an unhealthy state to a healthy state. When you're looking at your diet, you're stopping things one at a time and replacing with good things. So stopping is preventing the bad, right? So with your business, depending on where you are, there's behaviors and habits that you have to stop step by step that are not good for you. Simultaneously, when you're taking on the good habits, you're again doing it step by step. You're not going to be bench pressing 1,000 pounds the first day or any day, but you're not going to, even if you can bench press more, the first step would always be to get your form down so you don't hurt yourself, right? It's the same thing with business. So those are the things that you need to consider. And I think in the coming weeks, we're actually going to go through, depending on where your business is, what we think you should be concentrating on, what you should be focusing in on, so that you get success long term, and it's not something that's like a 5-minute quick fix or the illusion of a quick fix.